I'm Patrick Bailey with whiteboardcoder.com. Today is September 6, 2021, and in this video I'll be installing a Harken Hoister to store my 2001 Jeep Wrangler's hardtop in my garage. Okay, here's the one I have, and I'll put a link in the show notes to this product on Amazon. It's a Harken hardtop overhead garage storage hoist for Jeep Wranglers. I happen to get the 16-foot one, which costs a little more. Now imagine the parts are probably the same. It's just, I need a little more rope because my garage is rather tall. So I spent a little over $200, and it looks like I think it's going to work. So with that, one last thing before I start into it is I did find a video over here from the Harken people, the Harken Hoister installation video, which I'll put a link to that. And that might be a good one to go over to get some other ideas because every garage is unique. So with that, let's go see what I'm doing in my garage to make this work. Okay, so here's the box. So just so you can see, a Jeep and truck top. So there's any other official numbers on it. And there we go, there might be an ID just in case. Okay, so let's go see what we have in here. So I opened it, but I haven't pulled anything out, so start pulling a lot of rope out. There's our rope, some latches. Some advertisement and all our instructions. So I need to go through here and make sure I have all the pieces, which I assume I do. So we got do not untie, do not untie. Oh, there we go. And there's our 6-to-1, I think, ratio. So I think we're good. That looks good to me. So now, there's that. Okay, and a little bit of my current thinking process. So in most garage, you can see, I've seen a couple videos and whatnot, and they're just putting it up in the garage, up like in here, which is fine and dandy, and that's probably going to work for most garages. It'll work in here too, but I got a pretty decent sized garage. I'm also 11.5 feet tall, and also I do have a lot of space above my garage door. So right now I did measure it, so above my garage door, I have about 33 inches. So I think I can maybe barely get this. And I also have a wide garage, so I can actually fit it over one side without affecting the rail there. So my thinking right now is I'm going to have to do some adjustments. Is in the design, they're going to put a 2x6 on the ceiling, and then you're going to hoist it up. And normally, I think it hooks right here, and it's got hooks in the back. And if I were to do that, I would have a gap that would add, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. So I'd have the height of this, 4 or 5 inches plus this. I don't think that's going to work. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'll do the 2x4s and then put the eyelets out here, but instead of hooking over here, I'm going to hook down here and attach this to the bottom. If that idea works, and I still got to figure that out, if I do this right now, we can see I'm just slightly under 33 inches. So I think this will barely work. And to make it work, I got to have it squeeze up top, or maybe I can do it without having the 2x4 on the bottom. I'm not sure. So I think I can make it work, but it's going to be a tight squeeze. If I can't, I got to put it in the back of the garage. So we'll see what I come up with. Okay, I got some parts. I figured out some ideas, and I got some parts. So now where I'm at, I got a drawing here roughly of my garage, and here is my garage door opener, and I got this tray right here. Here's the tray on the other side. I didn't have quite enough room, but the other tray is right about there.
Where's the front of the garage?
The front of the garage is right here.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking about doing is I want to put, here is roughly where my Jeep top will be. But my idea compared to what they did, what they're going to do, which is a good idea if you got the room. You have the 2x4 go all the way across, and then you have the stuff go down. My idea is, what I want to try to do is get this roof to hit the roof of my garage, because I got barely enough space. I think I have enough space. If I hit the top, with my idea, I can close the garage door. I also did measure from the front of my garage door, because as it comes up, it does kind of crest a little bit. So as those garage doors come up, it actually goes above the railing a little bit. So I kind of measured, I need to go a little bit back, where it kind of starts to smooth out to a lower. So I'm going about 3 feet back. About 3 feet back, I get my 32 inches. I get that crest here a little earlier. So 3 feet back, I should be good from my front of my door. And so I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do that. But I'm going to put those 2x4s, 2x6s, sorry, not all the way across, but I'm going to just do them on the edge. So I'm going to do them right up to where this would be so that this can actually go in, and that will be, I won't say butt up against the Jeep top, but pretty close. So there'll be 4 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll be in the, and they'll be attached to the roof, you know, with screws, with bolts. Pretty good.
The reason is to get the top all the way up.
To get exactly. But also with that, like I think, I don't know if I mentioned it before, what I was going to do is I'm going to put 2x4s, 2x6s in this case, underneath and attach. So what I've actually done, and if you have a Jeep top, you'll notice this, that there is a little piece that kind of goes, there's where we attach the Jeep normally, but there's also a little ledge. So what I've done is I've cut out a little bit of that piece to kind of go down there. It's not perfect, it doesn't actually measure, it doesn't go down exactly, but it gets me closer. And also that groove will get me in there pretty good. And then I put these bolts in, and I'm going to attach them. So you can actually see I've already attached the front. And if you get down there, you can see that groove goes in there. And there's some space, so it's not butt up against the top, but this isn't that heavy, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. But I got it nicely securely bolted on. And then the idea will be, I'll take these eyelets that I just bought from Home Depot, and I'll put those in the center here on that, and I'll attach that to the back, put that in the center there, and that's where I'll wrap up. Now, but I also need, I figured, 8 feet of space, because I'd like to be able to raise it from all the way to the, although I don't have to, I'd like to be able to raise it all the way from the ground, in case I ever want to. So I'm going to flip, this is going to be normal for how you'd park the Jeep in here. But it's going to go all four of those are going to go up to their eyelets, and they're going to go like the system has, where it goes to one location. And what you could do, in my case, you could have it to go to one location here, and then go to the back of the garage and pull down. But I'd rather have it away, because I'm going to do this twice a year. So I'm going to have it actually go there, make a 90-degree turn, and I'm going to use this for my 90-degree turn to have all 4 ropes go through. So I'll attach that to the wall, I'll attach that to the wall like that, have all 4 ropes go through, and then I'll have my pulley system actually along the wall back there is my plan right now. And so I'll pull it all up there and secure the rope up there, so when the garage is open, you won't even notice it.
And your drawing shows that.
And that's my drawing. So my drawing, we go all the way back there to that eyelet piece, I don't know. There's my 90-degree piece, which is this, is that. And then we go back over here, and that's where I'm going to pull. That's where my pulley will be, and then that's where it'll secure down, so I can pull it right here, and then when I'm done, secure all the rope up there, is my plan, and we'll see how it goes. So I think it's going to work. Okay, so I wanted to show a couple of things. So I am, nicely anchoring this to the ceiling with these lag screws here, just to show you what I'm using. And of course I got some washers for those too. But I just wanted to show what I'm doing, which I figured a way. Because how do you attach things to the ceiling? It's kind of rough. One thing, it's just difficult, so go slow. So in my case, I do like to use these magnets. I'll probably put a link up to some of these powerful neodymium magnets. Because you can use a stud finder, or you can take some of these magnets, roll it around, and you'll find where they bolt where they screwed it before. And chances are they did it correctly. Usually I do a couple so I make sure I have the correct line. That's the way I can try to find the stud and be pretty sure of it. Plus I leave them up there and it kind of makes a guide. So what I did there is I did that, drill line between the two, used my screw, but how do you hold this guy up? So at first I was holding it up pressing against this. Not the best idea, because this is strong, but I probably shouldn't be putting that much pressure on it. But then I finally realized I got my ladder. I can push against my ladder. And for those who may not know, if you have something like this, these come off and go to the other side. So normally you're seeing these clamps, and you see a clamp like this, where you have this on one side locked in and you can clamp. But in this case it's got a button, but other ones, usually, more often than not is the case, you have some way of detaching this, putting it on the other side, locking it in, and now you got something that can pry apart. So in this case I seem a little twisted, so I'm just pushing up against here, and then I'm putting my lag bolts in, which will See how fast I can do this. I'm getting old and I'm getting tired. But also when this is all done, test it. A good idea is, I'm going to have to put an eyelet over here from the system. And probably what I'll do is I'll put a rope all the way down to the bottom and then put some heavy weights just a few inches off the ground and test it that way, because if something happens, it only falls a couple inches. But also this might come crashing down, but don't do it while you're near it, I guess. But make sure you're on the studs. I can feel it biting, because if you don't get on the studs and the trusses, this is just particle board. It's not going to hold anything. So please make sure. And also, these lag screws did not come with the kit. I had to go buy them. And all in all, between the lag screws, I bought more than I needed for future projects, and I bought 5 2x6s and a few other odds and ends. I probably spent about $100, a little more than $100 in total at the Home Depot. Okay, now if I pop this off, okay. That feels solid, but I still need to put something up front here, so I'll get to that, and then I got to put another one just like this, about 3 feet away, and then I got to put them on the other, 2 more on the other side. Okay, so here we are right now. So I got it all to work. So, well, number one, I'm not using the straps right now, so those are left over. And I think I said in the last part, I had to go buy some more stuff, so I spent probably $100 depending. I'm glad I bought a lot of lag bolts, because I've used every single one but one. So as you can see, I got all 4 of those up there. I got the wires hanging. One thing to note, which you'll see pretty quickly, that when you hang this up, 2 of the ropes are longer than the other rope, which makes sense because they're further away. So just make note of that when you're doing that.
So which ones are longer?
Well, these ones would be longer.
Okay.
2 are longer, and those are the ones you would use that were further away from the wall.
Got it.
Okay.
Understand.
Okay. So as far as things that I added to this, I did add that clip, which I think I talked about last time. So I have that ring there, so I can do that 90-degree angle. And because I need to raise it so high, I do have that really long distance to go to pull that up. Now, one other thing to make note, if you look at the where I'm anchoring over here, that thing is designed for the eyelet that it's hooked to be on the wall. So I had to put a board there and do it that way, because if I put that eyelet out this way, it was at a 90-degree angle and it was connecting, but you could see that it was probably going to break over time. So I have to do that because they need to be in line with each other. So
With the pulley.
with a pulley, yeah. Otherwise, I don't think you can make the other way work. I could see it becoming a problem. So if you're going to do it like this, where you have it, I'm doing it on a side, 90-degree angle, compared to what you normally would do, it's probably a good idea to do something like that. So I think this is all going to work. So next steps are, I just got to bring this over, tie this up, and bring it up. But one other thing to note, my less than genius idea, is these boards, I think this is going to work right now, I'll leave it as is, but these boards are going across underneath the whole way. So if I try to later on lower this onto my Jeep, the boards are in the way. But also right now, just get it up, get it working.
So you have to lower it down on the ground.
You'd have to lower it down, disconnect it, and put it on. So I'm thinking what I'll probably do, because what I had thought about putting a board, if I would cut, I could cut those boards off, right? But I have a moment arm here. It's too much, and it would probably twist it. So what I'm probably thinking, what I'll probably do, I'll come in here, make sure this all works, leave this up this way for another year, and the next time I come around to it, I think I'll probably take a board and go that way, just barely in, cut that whole thing in, and then move the eyelet in as close as I can, so I'll reduce that moment arm, and then pull it up, and I bet you that would work. And maybe when I do it, I'll throw another video up or something a year or 2 from now showing that works. But I think that would work, and then I could lower it and have that work correctly. But for now, I think this will be good. So now, let me just tie it all up and get it working. Okay, I won't go into too much detail on this. I did do a loop with a 8/8 figure knot. 8/8 knot. Figure 8. Where's my brain? Figure 8 knot. Just doubled on it. You can look up how to do that. I won't go over that. But hey, I'm attached. I already tried it once, and it works well. So we'll show it here. We'll just raise it up. So here, I've got it all on. The nice thing about this design, it's got that nice lock. So there I am, suspended off the bottom. And now in here, to actually lower it, let me lower it just real quick, just a little bit. You need a good angle on it. I was trying to do an angle like this, because you see how that lever comes up? Kind of works, but sometimes I have to do a more severe angle. So that's a good thing to know when you want to let it back down.
You did that way too fast.
Oh, well, let me try that again. I went way too fast. Okay, so I'll pull it up. It's locked. Now, for you to go down, I need to pull this at an angle just a little bit to release that switch. So the switch in there, I don't know if it'll show up too well on the video, but when I go here, it flips up, and as long as you have that pressure, I'm holding it, I can let it back and let it down. But if I let go, it'll go over there and lock. So you got to get an angle and have pressure. So now let's erase this. There we go. You'll see I pretty much used up that entire length. So I'm glad I had that really long run. And you see I'm locked. I would not rely on that. I will do something, I'll put something up there to tie it off and loop it up there. I haven't done that yet, but I will. So just to show, oh, another thing, I did buy some rope. I like to be redundant. I think this is okay. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go through those loops and tie some ropes back and forth a couple times just to be redundant. Because it's kind of an odd shape that comes crashing down. Life's going to be different. I think it's fine. I like to be redundant. But now let me go pop off my garage and show that I have enough room. Look at that. Call that a success, so. So I like it. I think it's going to be a good one. I can see reusing some of their systems like that for a kayak or something someday, but not there yet. But hey, if you get enough room above your garage door, it's a nice place to put it. If not, I would have just run these the other way down the wall and pulled it, and that would work just fine. And have this over there, but nice. I like it. I think it was well worth it, so glad I bought it. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a like. To subscribe, just click the subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Twitter under the handle @whiteboardcoder.com. View any code I may have thrown up as a gist at GitHub under the username PatmanDenver, or check out my blog site at whiteboardcoder.com.